Right, ladies, I'm going to go through the Booty Bible. And I'm going to do this because I want you to get the best out of this document and the exercises. So, you'll obviously have this on your phone because it's not really going to work unless you are knowledgeable about all the exercises and you know how to do them. So, look through it on your phone because the links will then work. And the first 2 pages are the legal stuff. So I'm not actually coaching you one to one. I'm going to clip this to myself. So there's an element of risk to you, which I am not responsible for. So please make sure if you have any pre-existing injuries, back pain, knee pain, torn ligaments, sprained ankles, that you get cleared from your doctor or a physio. And if you are doing this live with me over the next 10 weeks, drop it in the WhatsApp group so I can give you the advice that I would if you were a one-to-one client. The second page, so it says page 3, it's a little bit about who I am and why this document exists, because I want women to have a batty. I don't like seeing men or women with a flat batty. It just should not be happening. And I hate seeing women working out unsafely and wasting their time because they're not actually doing the best technique for them and their body. So, how the Booty Bible works. I actually feel like I should read this like a story. This is 10 weeks, 3 blocks, and each block builds on the last one. So basically what that means, it's progressive overload. We start off a little bit easy. The next block, it gets a little bit harder, and by the last block, you're doing more reps. You can add weight if you want to, and the exercises should be harder, but still challenge you in the same way it did in the first 3 weeks. So there's 3 workouts a week. That is your minimum. You're going to do it. You should be doing a lot more than this, but this is where you're going to start. And each workout should be about 30-45 minutes. Now, I've already gone through workout 1 and it took me about 25 minutes, but I know what I'm doing. So please give yourself time to pause and work through it. When you get used to it, you'll go through a lot quicker. Now, I will be covering nutrition, but there is no meal plan. I'm going to give you the best advice, which is in this document, and I want you to just be sensible, because when we think about what we're choosing and pay attention to why, that awareness means we're not going to make as many shitty choices as we have in the past. There's mindset work as well. So the pages 4 and 5, and I think 6, just go over what doesn't work, how you've been wasting your time, and how to move better. And I'm also covering the shit that goes on our heads, because that is why you stop. That is why you talk yourself out of going to the gym, doing the workout, going to the shop and eating junk food or getting the takeaway. So I'm here to help you deal with that as well. Now on page 6, this is the Booty Building 101. So watch every single link. There's a welcome video, which is highlighted in like the corally color. And then there's tips about posture, because how you stand and how you move through the exercises makes all the difference. And because I've seen too many women and helped too many women in my own classes that don't even know how to squat properly, the squat basics are in there. So please go through every single one of these videos, practice along with me, and then get started. So you don't have to start this on a specific date. Just get familiar with what it's all about, watch all the videos, practice some of them, and then choose a day and get it in your diary. So there's 4 mindset check-ins as well. So alongside the workouts that you'll be doing each week, there's some mindset work that I want you to do. And maybe before you begin, there's a check-in that I want you to go through. And that is on page 7 of your document. And this is just you writing down why you purchased this. And I don't want you to give me some bullshit answer. I know you want a booty. We all want a good booty. But I want you to answer why you actually done this. And for some people, that may be because I knew I was in a really shit place. I knew I could be doing better. I needed to do something for my health. And this came up at the right time. That's a no bullshit answer. Write it down. But don't write my answer down, write your own. And I want you to write down what you want it to feel like in 10 weeks. So at the end of this, how do you want to be feeling? Because if you're in the headspace of, I'm really unmotivated, I don't really know what I'm doing, I'm scared to join the gym, I want to lose some weight, I want to like what I see in the mirror, then how does that translate in 10 weeks? How are you expecting to feel in 10 weeks? What is it you want to achieve? And then get used to writing it all down, because it really does help. You don't need to do it in a notebook. You don't have to get a new shiny pad, but I do like doing that. You can write it in your phone, email it to yourself. And then I want you to also think about the last time you started something and then stopped, and what actually happened that caused you to stop. So those little things really get you thinking about you, why you've never mattered in your own fucking life, and the things you need to do to prioritize yourself and remember that you come first. Not just in the bedroom, ladies, but in life as well. If you do not matter to yourself in your own life, how are other people going to respect you? That's the sort of shit we're covering. And then you've got block 1, 3 workouts. Choose a day. I would space them nicely. So it'd be a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That means I don't have to do anything on the weekend. Click the link, watch the video, do it along with me. You can either do these one at a time and go through each exercise for the sets it says. So the 3 times 10 means 3 sets. That's how many times you're going to repeat that exercise. The second number, so in this one it's 10, is what we call reps. That is short for repetition. So you're going to do 3 sets of 10 repetitions of that exercise. Rest after each time you do it, or you can do each one as a circuit. So you'll do the first exercise, then the second, then the third, then the fourth, then the fifth, have a little rest, go back to do another set. So you could do that as a circuit 3 times 3. There are some extra little videos of just workouts that I did back in lockdown. 5-minute finishes, core, full body. You can do these every single day if you want. It really is not going to matter. It's a short workout. It means you're doing something. You'll have a laugh. You get your heart rate up. Boom. And then you've got bonus workouts as well. So there's 3 bonus workouts you could either choose to do at the end of these workouts, or you can choose to do them on different days. Totally up to you. You don't even have to do them. And then at the end of week 2, I want you to do another check-in. So that is on page number 9. Then we've got a second block. So this is some new exercises and slightly more reps. And I want you to always focus on what you're doing. And it's just going to follow the same format. Then there's another check-in for your thought process halfway through. So at week 6, I want you to go through and think about why you've never set boundaries, why you think it's selfish to put yourself first, who fucking told you that? And then write down one boundary you want to start putting into place. And that could be as simple as finishing work on time and going home. Not doing more than working your 9 to 5 job, or whatever your job looks like. Turning off your phone at 8 p.m. so you can actually think about what you want to do the next day. We can explore this in the WhatsApp group. So please read through this whole document, or just flick through it, scan read it, just go through it. Then you've got the final block. So weeks 7 through to 9, more reps, different exercises. Some will be repeated because it's not about adding in new stuff. It's about making it more challenging for yourself. And then at week 10, it's more like, look, let's remove the pressure. What do you want your future this year to look like? What do you want to carry on doing? You need to have the awareness of what you want to do next. So although we're going to cover that at week 10, you can start thinking about it now. What is this bootylicious Bible a stepping stone for you? Then on page 15, we cover food, and I like to keep it really simple. So This is about you eating more real food, not obsessing over macros and calories. It's just making better choices, because your body functions better when you eat whole foods, real foods, not shakes, not protein bars, not these protein added bloody foods that you can buy. It's always going to feel better. You're going to be more energized. You're going to lose fat, look better, mentally think better if you choose quality food. There's science in that, which I'm happy to explain if you want me to, but it makes a big difference. For those that do want to calculate their calorie intake or what they should be eating, because you do want to track, all power for it. I want you to be aware of what you're doing and how much you're eating, and read labels. On page 19, notes, page 16, it goes through how I would get you to estimate what your calorie intake is and what a sensible approach would be, calorie-wise, to help you lose weight and reach your goals. On page 17, there's also a guide. I can't stop spinning on this chair. I'm going to try and sit still for the rest of this video. Now, on page 17, there's a protein guide. I'm telling you how much a serving of a protein source is. There's meat variants and then there's vegetarian variants. Mix them. You shouldn't be eating a shit ton of meat all the time. Plant sources are very good for you. So you've got your protein sources in column 1. Then in the middle column, it tells you how much protein. Again, these are all approximate, depending how big your chicken or steak is. And then the calories that you would expect to find in those foods. And in the group, I am going to go over why I don't like obsessing over the calories and macros. And I'll leave that for the group. Now, on the next page, it's going over why you eat when you're not hungry, because this is where a lot of women fuck up. We sit at home, we're watching the telly, and we just want to eat something. And yet you've just eaten a massive meal, you're already stuffed, or you're pissed off because your partner's there and he's been an absolute dickhead, so you decide to open a bottle of wine and just drink it, because work's been shit, life feels shit, you're eating shit. So it's just some little steps about how you can help yourself not eat when you don't need to eat food because there's something else actually going on. And then on the last pages, I like tracking what I've done, because then I can look back and see how easy I found it, how many reps I did I complete all the steps, and I can see my progress in real time. It's not mandatory, but it's just an example of how you could track your workouts. And then, that is it, and you can just grow the bunda. And hopefully, the next step will be to lift with weights and repeat those exercises. And if you're already doing that, kudos to you. Go out and chase that booty. See you later.